2024. It's a beautiful day today. It's about the temperature is about 40 to 50 degrees. Very nice. So I came out here to shoot the mountainscape. Mountain had snow. In Colorado, there's always this mountains looming over you, and if you are lucky, you have a mountain view house, for example. If you open the window, you can see the mountain. But those are very, very luckiest people. They have that particular opportunity. And but for me, I walk all over the place, so I can look for the places that I can see like a mountainscape. And so last couple of days, I think it was very cold and snowed the mountain definitely. So it's all white capped. And right now, as you can see, there's a white capped mountains range. You would see there, and they are toward the to look from your side. I think the right hand side there is this distinct, like a 4, 3, 5 maybe mountains together. Those are mountains that you can see when you go to the Rocky Mountain National Park. It's like a Chapin to the left, and second one is Chiquita, and Ypsilon, and Fairchild, and Hagues Peak, and Maui. Those mountains you can see when you're driving up to the Rocky Mountain National Park. You can see first mountain you can see is those mountains. And so if you go to the Rocky Mountain National Park, you can see all over the place. And Moraines Park, beautiful area, you can see those mountains. And so that's nice things to know. And I got to know that mountain when I was hiking without knowing anything. But this father and son hikers are coming after me. The son is about, I don't know, maybe 10 years old. And he was proudly saying those mountains are, Chapin, Chiquita, Ypsilon, Fairchild, Hagues Peak, Maui. All these things that he could recite. I was so impressed. Wow, yeah, I got to know the name of the mountain. So I got to know that after that. But then toward a little bit left, there's a tallest mountain, the Rocky Mountain National Park. That's Long's Peak mountain. And toward the left there, I have no idea what their mountains are. I think lots of famous mountain peaks there, but I still struggle to find out what the name of the mountain. I know the Indian Peaks all the way to the left. I think that's Indian Peak. Indian Peaks is a beautiful area at the south of Rocky Mountain National Park. You can go there and you can hike there. Very, very easy hike, but very, very popular hike. And so there's a campsite there, but it's always full. And but if you're lucky, you can camp and you can see the mountain very, very close by. Beautiful lakes. And so yeah, it's a nice place to go. So yeah, I think I really I will miss the mountains in Colorado when I leave. I think I'm going to leave here, Colorado, going to some other state. And so I kind of feel very nostalgic and very sad about leaving this beautiful state. I think Colorado is one of the best states to live. Unfortunately, housing cost and so forth is very, very expensive now. It's not as expensive as maybe San Francisco or California place, but still getting more and more expensive. So other places you go, much, much cheaper. So I realized, well, I'm getting old. I really have to establish myself, and I realized that much easier for senior people with a fixed income. You want to live much cheaper places, and that's a reality when you get older. I think, especially in the U.S., uh, people move because the people who lived in New York for all along, all the time, all his life, after retirement, they realize that that's not a good place to spend the retirement, so they go to Florida. Florida is much, much easier. The temperature is much, much warmer, and housing is not that expensive. I think it's getting more expensive now, but there's a lot of senior community that you can get the residents there. And in the U.S., for example, the living expenses, housing costs, and everything is very, very different from place to place, and that's amazing. And you hear that San Francisco is so expensive to live, and California tried to move to Colorado because Colorado is cheaper than California, and that's very, very true. It's cheaper, and so if you are struggling in California, you can get a good life in Colorado. If you're struggling in Colorado, you have a good life in somewhere else, south maybe, like Carolina or something like that. I think it's always there's a place to go to. And for me, I've been to several states to live. I think when I was a student, I lived in Washington State and Iowa State. And whenever I move to those places, each place has this charm, very, very nice environments. Seattle, for example, is a beautiful place with oceans, Puget Sound nearby, and the cityscape is stunningly beautiful there because of the lakes. There are bays there, and the people are very happy. And but then again, Seattle, a very, very expensive place to live. If you don't have a good job, it's very, very difficult to live there. And so I moved to the Iowa because I found opportunity to study there. And Iowa is like a farming state. It's a rolling hills landscape. There's no mountains, but relatively safe, and people are mostly farmers, I would say. So yeah, that's also kind of interesting. I think the Bill Bryson, for example, the writer who wrote the Walking in the Woods, he grew up in Iowa as a boy. I think so. Everywhere you go, you get this particular feeling of you like the place to live, and so forth. So after that, I went to South Carolina and Michigan. Michigan is kind of interesting. Michigan is the northern states, I would say, and there's 5 lakes big lakes there, and so it is very, very kind of a pretty, beautiful by the lake. And however, weather wasn't that good. And I feel like in Colorado too, that during the winter time, the weather is not that hospitable. I think it's cold and windy, and I rather feel I like to be in warmer places when I get older, because this cold temperature gives you this, additional stresses, and you don't feel good about walking outside when it's cold, blowing, or snowing. Even though it's pretty, I think it's very, very difficult. So, yeah, I think that's a trade-off there. But then I came to Colorado, and Colorado was such a beautiful place, and it is a place that you could be alone. You could be a loner. You could be very, very, hiking loving loner. Always you want to go hiking in the mountains, and so like very, very beginning, I didn't have much chance to go hiking because I was busy working. But I got to know some people, and they are very, very avid hikers, and they are saying that wow, those hiking lakes, alpine lakes, are so beautiful, and nobody's around me, and that particular environment, I couldn't believe it. I can't believe that I am occupying that particular beautiful place by myself, and that's what they're saying. So soon after, I kind of started to do hiking, and that's very, very true. Everywhere you go, you get hooked because it's so solitude, loving people, and so beautiful, pretty, and you are alone, and that's very, very nice feeling, and also relatively safe. I would say mountains are safe compared to the city, and so that's very, very nice. I climbed some of the beautiful hiking destinations and alpine lakes and everything. And everywhere I go, I was stunned to see those beautiful scenery. And so that's Colorado. And I know that talking to other people who lives in Colorado, they say, well, if you live in Colorado, people wants to visit you. And just because of the environment. And that's very, very true. People wants to visit and spend like a week or so with you in your house, maybe. And yeah, that's Colorado there. But in your lifetime, I think the things changes. Lots and lots of things changes, and I know without a general. It's not a generalization, but I think changes are very good for you. I think without change, you stagnate, and you feel like you're not progressing your life that much. Changes are good for you, I would say, even though the environment may not be as good as the one from the other. But every place I go, my confession is that everywhere you go in the U.S. to live, every place had a charm. Every place I felt like I could live there forever. I could live, I could establish my life there, and so that's the I don't know, the life. I think if you live there, you establish this particular fond liking of place, and that's I'm hoping in future also that's gonna be the case. You really I think wants to uh, establish the places, but at the same time you want to establish as the your life demands. You go somewhere and you realize that yeah, this is the place I live at least for a few years or whatever, and so this is more or less like a life. Nomad life. Many retired people uh, go to the life in their vans or camping car. They travel all over the place by camping car, and those lifestyle I really understand. When I hike in Colorado, for example, many campsites are catered for those camping car uh, people. Uh, Mostly retired people, but they have a very huge, humongous camping car, I would say. Uh, they have a kitchen and beds and tables and chairs and everything inside there. So those lifestyles existing, and I think some of the people go from you know tent sites from one place to the other entire life, and they really enjoy it. That's nomad life. And there's movies about that too a while ago. But it is somewhat like a unrooted existence. You are not confined in one place. Therefore, it is more or less like you don't know where you belong. You don't know where you could take a rest. Mostly when you get sick, I think you want to stay somewhere very, one place or whatever. But yeah, so that's life in the U.S. I think it's very interesting, very kind of different from other places, probably because other places in the world, I think, they tend to stay in one location for in your life, whole your life. You were born there, you stay there, and you don't go anywhere else. But the U.S. is different. The U.S. has this culture that you move around where the jobs are, and of course, jobs are required to be one place, and you have to go there. But without job restriction, people move around. I think people get tired. People need a new place to live, and they move. They move. As a senior citizen, you feel like you are also, settled down, and you want to be in one place, and don't want to be bothered by hustling, bustling type of moving, and getting to know where the new grocery stores are, and new hiking routes or new trails or something like a new movie theaters nearby, whatever. You don't want to bother by those. And as we go along, maybe you have to stop driving. Probably in the U.S., driving promote this freedom of moving around all over the place. Car culture here is tremendous. I think all over the United States there's this interstate highway, which is very nice, very well maintained, and you can go from one state to the others, probably one day period of time, and so each state has different looks to it, especially when you I don't know, going south, north, east, or west, you realize that, yeah, those are tremendously different. Even though in the United States there's always McDonald's and always those places that familiar restaurants are there, but I think in essence, I think when you're traveling around, uh, you see different things there. And I think in Japan, traveling around, I think that even though Japan is a small country, there's like a 47 prefectures there, and each prefecture has a different vibes, different culture, and they promote tourism, promotes those different aspects of each prefecture, and so many people travel around the country, and mostly they have this uh, inn or ryokan. They catered for the uh, people who come and you know get into the onsen, the hot spring there, and also have a meals there, like a dinner, breakfast, lunch. They have a tremendous, sumptuous, traditional Japanese meals. Those inns are very precious and very popular today even. So many people travel around Japan as well. So able, if you are, economically, uh, supported in that sense, I think I would recommend that you travel all over the world. I think that's a very nice way to spend the rest of your life. Yeah, yeah. So it's so nice day, and people are playing, dogs are playing, and I really like that. So I came here to shoot some of the people walking around. Very nice. Yeah.